Today I'm looking at a Shapleigh Hardware Company diamond edge saw. It's a number 125. This saw is made of spring saw steel of the finest quality. It is fully warranted and represents the acme of perfection in saw making. I don't know if it's the acme. It's a darn nice saw. I'm going to clean up the saw and take a quick polish at the handle, because I like to have them nice and clean, and I want to get all this schmutz from around the blade. So the first thing I do is remove the saw nuts. I always keep a little plastic tray on top of the bench. That way I can put saw nuts and things in there and not get them lost. It says diamond edge right there on the medallion. Oh, somebody has decided that they didn't like where those holes were, and they put them in a dozen different places. It tells me that either the saw maker wasn't all that adept, or somebody changed out this handle. In either case, that's not a good thing. But we'll work around it. I like to use alcohol to lubricate the sandpaper. It cuts shellac really good, and it's amazing how much shellac is on things, especially the older tools. Lacquer and shellac were pretty prevalent in the early 1900s. I'm going over the saw blade and the back with 600 grit wet or dry sandpaper. That'll clean off the gunk and make it smooth without taking away a lot of the metal. I have a feeling this was an amateur repair. Most of the backsaws that I've seen, this is a little newer, and this is contemporary, if not a little older, have a better fit on the back. This one sticks up an awful lot. That and the chopped out holes just doesn't look like the kind of work that you'd expect from the acme of perfection in saw making. I'd be embarrassed if that was my company and somebody showed me one of these saws looking like that. So I have a feeling somebody in the distant past, because this has been on there quite a while, decided that the handle was either damaged or just didn't suit their needs and needed to be replaced. That's better. It's a long ways from perfect, but it's quite nice. Blade is straight. I think I'm going to clean up the handle a bit. I like Formby's Restore Finish. Now it's going to give it a reddish tinge because it's a mahogany colored Restore Finish, but that's okay. Take some of the gunk off first. Just lightly go over it with steel wool. This is 4/0 steel wool. It doesn't take a lot of the finish off. And now I can see that somebody in the past has done a little work on this. Once again points towards somebody changing the handle out. What makes me think that is there are scratches in the varnish that are smoothed over with more varnish over the top of them. Taking the paint drips and the gunk off of it. Those are all just surface blemishes. They're not even down into the wood. They're just sitting on top of whatever was put over the top of this thing. Okay, a little bit of alcohol on the steel wool, and we can give this a good cleaning. Now you can see the crap starting to come off. Alcohol doesn't raise the grain on the wood, and it dissolves the coating. It's on there. And some guys say, oh, you should leave that on there, it's patina. Well, a little patina I'm fine with. I got no problem with a few rust shadows on the blade and some wear points and spots where the finish is rubbed off. I just don't want to go with 19th century nose pickings, because just not my thing. See how it smooths that up? Oh, and somebody's fixed the horn. They had an oops and dropped it. That doesn't really bother anything either. It was a nice job. They did a careful work and didn't put it back on with a big old screw. So I can live with that. Now I'll start with a clean rag. I'm rather generous with a finish restorer. It has to dissolve the surface a little bit. Now the alcohol's already done a good part of that. So the cleaning part of the process is a good ways along. There. That actually looks pretty good. I'm just going to clean up the screws a little bit and put them back in. Not going to bother polishing them. I do like to have the medallion facing the way it's readable. And it's an affectation of mine to have the slots and the screws clocked. By taking a clamp and affixing it asymmetrically, I'm able to clamp the saw nut in such a way that the medallion is gripped, but the nut is not. And that allows me to do selective clamping. And get a good grip on the head. Hopefully stop it from spinning. Saw nut's tight. Screws in alignment. I have to do the same thing for the other one. Because it's also decided to be difficult. And there we have a nicely clean saw. I'm going to wax the blade and the handle. I should be in good condition. I like using Butcher's Boston Polish. It's an amber paste wax. America's premier since 1880. Well, my mom liked it, so she gave me a can. And I have used it for multiple things. And it seems to work very, very well. Goes on. Got a little bit of a mineral spirit smell to it, so I'm thinking it's got something like mineral spirits in it. It's very rust inhibitive. I use it on my power tools too. Keeps the table on my cast iron table saw from rusting because it's too big to sit in the basement. Makes a little too much noise and it's a little too dusty for what I want to put down here. Try and keep the basement for hand tools. There's a few power tools down here, but they're the exception rather than the rule. Does a fine job of cutting. Smooth and straight. Not bad for a $10 saw after a little cleanup.
Old Sneelock here again. Thanks for watching. Have you subscribed yet? If you enjoyed the video, please take a moment and click the thumbs up.